We live in a culture where young people are desperate for meaning and value, and they're on this incredible search. Young Life in Rockbridge County is all about going to where students are and loving them where they are. Our leaders are caring adults and college students who love Jesus, love young people, and enter into their world. We do a lot to invite students in. We have Young Life Club, a place where students get together to have fun, laugh, and learn that Jesus is not boring. In the summer, we get to take students to Young Life Camp, aka the best week of their life. We plug students into a small group of their peers and we call that campaigners, where they learn what it means to follow Jesus in their own life. The vision of Young Life is that every kid will have the opportunity to hear about Jesus. Every kid deserves to know who God is and deserves to know that somebody loves them. Come join the adventure and see how you may be a part of changing students' lives and our community for generations.
Hello, friends of Young Life in Rockbridge County. I want to say welcome to our drive-in banquet at Hull's Drive-In. We just want to say thank you to you all for coming out and that we appreciate you, and we are really excited for what's in store for tonight. So my name is Josh Holton. I am the area director for Young Life here in Rockbridge County. Me and my amazing wife Mary have lived here for the past 4 years, and we have just loved every second of it. I work with middle schoolers specifically in our wildlife ministry, as well as Capernaum Kids, our ministry for kids with special needs, as well as overseeing all of Young Life that happens in Rockbridge County.
My name is Sarah Parnell, and I'm the staff associate for Young Life here in Rockbridge County. I get to focus on ministry at RCHS with high school students and Washington and Lee University with local college students. My husband Caleb and I feel incredibly grateful to call this place our home, and we have loved our time in town so far.
Although COVID has made it difficult for us to be together, it's provided us a creative opportunity to have something like this tonight. And we just want to say thank you for being here. We believe deeply that Young Life is an awesome opportunity for students. And we also believe it's an awesome opportunity for you guys to be able to hear what we're all about tonight.
We hope you sit back, relax, and enjoy some Beam Me Up as we get to tell you a little bit more about the Young Life ministry, both as a whole and specifically in Rockbridge County. We know the pandemic hasn't allowed for many nights out, but we hope you treat this as one with your family and enjoy the show we have put together for you.
Michelle and I really liked Young Life for what it's done for Sydney and for Alex. It's something they look forward to every week. They enjoy going to campaigners and also to club because it's fun. They learn about the Bible, they're making Christian friends, and they're also able to be a positive influence in other people's lives as well. Sydney especially has enjoyed meeting some of the leaders and getting to know them, and we've been so impressed about how they've poured their lives into her, even doing Zoom calls with her from across the ocean. It's been pretty impressive. It's been a good thing for us as a family overall.
In today's day and age, kids are seeking for something more, and they're willing to go just about anywhere to find it. They authentically crave answers to the questions, who am I, do I matter, and where do I belong? And they need faithful leaders who are going to walk alongside them in the search to answer these questions. Young Life seeks to do just that. Young Life leaders are caring adults who don't wait for teenagers to come to them, but rather enter into their lives right where they are without judgment. Young Life has been present in Rockbridge County for 29 years, building relationships with students and seeing lives changed by Jesus Christ. There are a few key tools that Young Life uses to do this, and sometimes they're referred to as the 5 C's. These are tools that are present in every specialized branch of the Young Life ministry. The first C of Young Life is club. This is the 1 hour a week where students can come and have fun, laugh, and honestly just be kids. We sing songs together, we play interactive high-energy games together, and at the end, a leader who has earned the trust of students stands up to communicate the gospel and introduce kids to Jesus Christ in a setting that makes them feel safe and welcome.
What I love most about club is it gives me an opportunity to escape from schoolwork and all the other pressures of the day on a Monday night for a couple hours and just get to have fun and enjoy club.
Being with friends and getting to be around all my leaders and just grow in those relationships.
Or getting to hang out with really cool friends and learning more about Jesus.
It's a really good time to hang out with friends and leaders while also learning about the Bible.
Probably just dancing and going crazy with my leaders and friends.
What do you like about Capernaum?
And we all get to do fun games and stuff.
If it's your first time, everyone's really accepting of you, and you can meet new friends, learn more about God, and have a lot of fun.
I love dancing and singing at club. That's my favorite thing, like jumping around, like.
The second C of Young Life is campaigners. We take seriously the responsibility of teaching kids to follow Christ and encouraging them to read the Bible, and campaigners is where they get to do this. It's a weekly, smaller group setting where kids can engage with their peers and discover what it means to follow Christ together rather than alone.
My favorite thing about campaigners is it's just such a different atmosphere compared to all of the other social things in my life. It's just such a great way to get to know more about God with all of my friends.
The community, just getting together in a smaller group and just reading the scripture and getting to get into it more.
Is getting to see friends and have meaningful conversations.
It's the best way to start off my morning.
Read some verses and pray with your leader and your friends, and just to be more in depth.
Being surrounded by a group of people that kind of push me to grow, and then I'm able to communicate with them well and just study scripture and be surrounded by a bunch of loving people.
And you kind of get to create this community of other people who are interested in reading the Bible and digging deeper. And that's just really cool.
Here I am at Rockbridge, Alum Springs, right outside of Goshen, to tell you guys about the next C of Young Life. During the summer and sometimes the fall, we get to take students to Young Life Camp. One of the most unique things about our camping program is that the same leader that's been living life and spending time with kids all year gets to go to camp with them, share the experience, and go home to continue the relationship. It truly is built to be the best week of their lives. Young Life Camping values excellence. They have beautiful properties, and they're built just for kids. They truly get to run free of distractions for a week while they hear the progression of the gospel in a place made just for them.
Best part about camp is that you go there and then you get to meet your leaders, you get to spend a weekend or spend the week with them. And then once camp is over, saddest part of camp obviously, but once camp is over, they come back with you. So it's not like you just meet these leaders and then that's the end. You get to go back and keep building those relationships.
You learn a lot about God while you're at camp. If it's your first time, you're gonna be blown away.
Being able to leave home and go with a bunch of my friends to a fun camp and get to participate in all the activities and grow closer to the people I'm with.
Crazy experiences, the club talks and the quiet times and stuff. It's just a fun experience.
You get just 1 week to be yourself. Everyone's themselves, and just you go crazy. You by the end of the week, you're just so tired that you can't even open your eyes.
At the time, I ordered 10 scoops of ice cream and attempted to eat them all in under a minute, and I failed miserably.
The second to last C of Young Life is committee. This is a group of caring adults in the community that first love Jesus Christ and second believe that the presence of Young Life is beneficial for and important to students and parents in our community. The last and arguably the most important C of Young Life is called contact work. This is where leaders meet with students on their turf to earn the right to be heard as a trusted adult in their life. Contact work can happen anywhere, whether that's the school, downtown, coffee shops, local fast food joints, or even leaders' backyards. This, honestly, is Young Life's home run. If we stripped away all of the other C's that I talked about and just focused on building intentional and authentic relationships with kids where we get to introduce them to Jesus Christ and love them regardless of their response, we would still be fulfilling our mission and vision.
My favorite thing about Mike is he's always there to talk, and if I'm struggling with something, he's always there for me, and he gives me the best advice.
I love getting to hang out with my leaders and going on lunch dates.
Just getting to hang out with them and go on little adventures with them.
I play Fortnite. My friends in news.
He said it really fast.
I don't know.
It's just talk with them. It's hard sometimes to find friends who just are honest and willing to talk about anything and dig deep into the word with you. So that's just what's really cool about having the Young Life leaders. They'll talk about anything with you, they'll support you, and they're genuinely invested in your life.
That he'll always hang out with us, so if I just text him, he'll go skating, go swimming, always be willing to do something.
I love like getting coffee and getting to talk to my leaders, like one-on-one or with friends, because I feel like we're really getting that time and that connection.
How willing they are to hang out with me always, whether it's eating ice cream sandwiches after campaigners or like editing my college essay, all of it. They just are so willing to reach out to me.
And the first time I met her, she was so fun, and she just did such a good job of like reeling me in, and she was just so inclusive.
The best thing about my leader is that she never confined our relationship just to campaigners and club and camp. She actively was like, do you want to go grab coffee? Do you want to go grab ice cream? Do you want to hang out? Aside from just the scheduled events and the pre-written stuff.
Well, we have 4 kids, so Hannah was our first, and she was immediately greeted by Young Life leaders when we moved from New York, which was amazing because we serve in Young Life, to actually see when Young Life works with your kids and the relational aspect of it, pulling her into having a community that she can belong and eventually lead in. And then as the boys were in junior high and moved into high school, to see them repeat that with a different leader that they connected with was really a gift. And then as Micah coming through junior high, even a different leader in Young Life connecting with them. So it's a gift to have someone outside of your family who takes an interest in your kids' lives, gives them another outlet to talk to. Even for a Christian household, it's an answer to prayer to have folks who move into your kids' lives and give them someone to talk to and invite them to events and encourage them in their faith.
Hey, what's up? My name's Charles. I'm a 7th grade at Moore Road Middle School, and honestly, online schooling's pretty easy. Let's see, start of my day, wake up around 7:30, 7:45-ish, head downstairs, get a granola bar, usually Chewy s'mores or peanut butter, whatever mom has. Then we go straight to math, probably the easiest subject, except for when we talk about division. I don't understand that at all, but who does? Never need to use that again in my life. Next we have reading. Reading's pretty simple. Reading this book, honestly forgot the title of it, but honestly just look it up on Wikipedia, the most trusted website ever, and all the notes are there. Let's see, around after that we head down for lunch. Usually mom's got me peaches in a cup and a Capri Sun, which is pretty good, and probably top it off with like an ice cream sandwich. So then yeah, after lunch, it's probably the most productive time of the day. Sometimes people say it's kind of the slow point, but honestly no point in my day is slow because I do nothing but grind 110% of the time. Probably answer a few emails. Probably some of them I don't because I don't feel like talking to my teacher today, but I'll just answer it tomorrow. Then yeah, probably around 7:30, pretty much done. And from then on, it's, me time. So, am I really good at online schooling? Yes. Do I miss my friends? Sometimes. Could I possibly be a little more productive? Not a chance. There's pretty much nothing that can distract me in this moment. You can ask any of my teachers. I turn in all of my assignments most of the time, so it's really no competition on who is really the best online student.
I want to give you a brief update on what has happened with Young Life in the past, what is currently happening right now, and what is on the near horizon. Young Life has been established in Rockbridge County since 1991. And since then, there have been leaders who have been building friendships with kids and sharing the love of Jesus with them. There have been teams of adults that have been praying for kids. And there have been kids who have shown up to a club on a Monday night searching for truth, love, and acceptance. If I know one thing, it's that kids are still seeking life. They're out in the world looking for someone or something that will love them. And it may seem like a whole lot has changed since 1991, but a teenager's search for unconditional love and acceptance has not.
While so much has changed since March, Young Life in Rockbridge County is committed to their mission now more than ever. Our leaders are Washington and Lee students, as well as faithful adults in the community who love Jesus and have a heart for kids. This past spring, we had the opportunity to train and place 8 new leaders into our various ministries, 1 at LDMS, 3 in our Capernaum ministry for kids with special needs, 2 more at Rockbridge County High School, and then 2 at Washington and Lee University. These same leaders got to hang out with kids this summer through virtual club, virtual hangouts, Bible studies, and even through hosting a hot dog pageant.
We hosted trivia nights, FaceTime with kids, drove by their houses, dropped off lunches, and sat in lawn chairs with them, all just to let them know that we care. We were even able to safely take 18 high schoolers on the adventure of a lifetime to go camping in West Virginia, where they got to talk about life and Jesus with their leaders. And we had a day camp for 35 middle school students, where they were able to process with their leaders what it might look like to have a relationship with God.
And as the fall has started, we have not abandoned our calling to kids. We're hosting outdoor meetings for middle schoolers and high schoolers, while leaders are diving deeper into friendship and discipleship with students, all the while teaching them how to live out a relationship with Jesus Christ in their own lives.
Which leads us to where we're headed, to what's on the horizon. Young Life has been sustained and supported for the past 29 years locally because of the faithful people in the community of Rockbridge County, and we are so grateful. Our staff, committee, and leaders have been dreaming of expanding the vision truly to encompass all students in the entire county. And we are prayerfully taking steps and having conversations and meetings to start Young Life at Perry McClure Middle and High School. The Lord is at work in Buena Vista, and we know that Young Life leaders, supported by the community, can be a part of bringing the hope of Jesus to students at Perry McClure Middle and High School, just like leaders have been walking the halls of RCHS, changing lives through Jesus Christ.
Hi, I'm Nikki Ulrich, Committee Chair for Young Life here in Rockbridge County. I'm excited to tell you about the new ministry we are starting, Young Lives. Young Lives is a ministry of Young Life that mentors specifically to teen moms. Young Lives mentorship can look like a home-cooked meal, one-on-one discipleship, or just helping a teen mom in need. We are looking for adults in our community to come alongside us and teen moms to start this ministry. If this sounds like something you are interested in, please check the box in your program to receive more information.
Wildlife and Young Life have had a huge impact on Jack, both from really helping and mentoring him through his journey with Christ and his faith, but also gaining great mentors who have taught him so much, both in a biblical sense, but also just in a real world sense. You know, the college-age students, Josh and the leadership have been phenomenal. Everything from campaigners to the breakfast, to the Bibles study that they do, to the camp that is awesome and the zip line that they do, and everything in between. And you know, in terms of having a leader step into my son's life, it just has reiterated everything that we love about you know, working together as a family to be better every single day and to pursue to the best of our ability what Christ is trying to have us do every single day. And I think that's what the mentors definitely give our son when they meet.
Hi, my name's Matt Hypes. I was a Young Life leader at Rockbridge County High School from 2013 to this past year, and I'd love to tell you a little bit about my friend Brinson Mullis. We met the fall of his freshman year on the way to a Perry McClure football game, and I got to walk through life with him those first few years as he had some ups and downs of normal high school experience. Our friendship really began the summer before his senior year when we went to summer camp. From that year on, I got to watch him pursue a relationship with the Lord in incredible ways. We had a Bible study with a couple other guys at the high school, and we just got to hang out pretty much all the time. It's been a joy to watch him now pursue a relationship with the Lord and friendships with middle schoolers here in the county and in Gettysburg where he goes to college. And he's going to tell you more about that right now.
Hi, I'm Brinson Mullis, and I graduated from RCHS in 2019. So I grew up in a family that would go to church most Sundays. We said a prayer at the dinner table, and until I was maybe 10 or 12 years old, that was just my normal. That was every week, every Sunday, but I never felt super connected to my church. Not many things that sounded like they related to me, and just by the time I got to about 10 or 12 years old, I had really lost a lot of interest, wasn't connected, wasn't going to church as much anymore, and had pretty much turned my back on the idea of any kind of relationship with the church. So all through middle school and through 8th grade, I felt really impersonal with Jesus. I didn't feel any connection, honestly wasn't even sure if I believed at that point because it just never felt personal to me, never impacted me really. But the summer after 8th grade, a few friends invited me to a wildlife summer camp out at Rockbridge, Alum Springs, and I had an amazing time. It was the best week that I had ever had, the most fun, with the best friends that I still love to this day. I knew that I wanted to continue going to wildlife and young life events because there was just something about them, something about the people there were so welcoming and so genuinely happy that I was showing up. And at the time, I didn't really know, what was making them all seem so happy and inviting and welcoming, but I knew that I wanted to keep being a part of it. So as I entered high school, I tried to go to as many Young Life events as possible. The first one I went to was a paint war, and it was one of the most fun things I did my freshman year of high school. There, I started to meet some of the high school leaders, and they really just welcomed me into genuine relationships and friendships, and I could tell that they wanted to get to know me. But at that point, I couldn't really figure out what it was, and it almost felt like I was playing a part, trying to act like I fit in and knew what they all had, but never really feeling it myself. And so at that point, as I got a little deeper into high school, I started finding other things that I was putting my identity in. A big thing was sports. Another thing, I had a girlfriend for about 2 years in high school that I held a lot of my identity in that. And right about the time that my girlfriend and I broke up, I also lost a position on the baseball team, and it just felt like things were falling apart in my life. At that point, I didn't know where my life was headed, what my identity was anymore, because these two things that I had built up in my life had just disappeared, and I didn't know where to go, but I knew that I was looking for something else to give me life. So it was at that point, after my junior year of high school, that my leader, Hypes, I think he could tell that I was, searching for some direction in my life, and he invited me to Windy Gap, which is another Young Life camp in North Carolina, and I decided to go along. So I went down to Windy Gap, and I had the best week of my life. To this day, the most fun, the most meaningful week I've ever had. And looking around the camp, I just saw tons of people that were so genuinely happy and genuinely welcoming to everyone and so full of love and life. And I knew that I wanted that. And I didn't know what it was, but I knew that I wanted it. And so I asked Hypes what was filling these people up in that way, and he told me it was Jesus. And that's the week that I decided I wanted to start a relationship with Christ. So coming back from Windy Gap and going into my senior year of high school, I started a really transformative year where I started developing these deeper friendships and deeper relationships with people. I wanted to get past a surface level thing with people where in the past I felt like I had almost used people in friendships to see what I could get from them. But senior year, I wanted to take the time to actually get to know people and let people get to know me. On top of that, I realized that year that whether I wanted it or not, there are younger kids in the high school that are looking up to seniors, looking up to older kids on their sports teams and their classes, and I decided that I wanted to be a good role model for them and show them what a good life can look like, instead of all the dark places that high school can take you. My life has taken a completely different direction since that week at Windy Gap. Through the love of my leaders and fellow students in Young Life, I started a relationship with Christ, and it has carried through with me to this day and influenced tons of parts of my life. Going from high school to college was a huge transition, and it was a really, really tough one. I felt alone a lot of the time because I was going to this brand new place where I didn't know anybody, and I felt like nobody knew me and nobody maybe wanted to. I had some really tough times feeling alone, But luckily I was able to lean back on the community that I had built my senior year with my Young Life leaders who got me plugged into Young Life at school, and I was able to find another community up there of people who wanted the same life as me, and that's been the most stable part of my college experience through the first year and a half. Now I'm studying religious studies at Gettysburg College, where I'm also helping to start a local wildlife club, and it's one of the most life-giving things I've ever done to be able to start to give that gift of the gospel to kids the same way it was given to me. So I just want to say thank you and tell you from the bottom of my heart how grateful I am for people like you who make Young Life here in Rockbridge possible so that kids like me can hear the gospel and start a new life in Christ.
I'm so thankful for Young Life and for the impact that it's had on our entire family's lives. All three of my children have been involved in different aspects of this ministry, and we are super, super grateful for it. I love the fact that Young Life makes sure that every child feels valuable and feels the love of Jesus. But I really love it when a leader steps into their lives and lets them know that their value is found in the love of Jesus, and that there is nothing that they can do or not do in the world's eyes. The successes and failures of those teenage years are monumental, and they feel so big, and yet leaders have come alongside my children and loved them faithfully and loved them well and pointed them to a redemptive God that is the only secure thing that gets you through the teenage years and all of adulthood. So we are super grateful for the leaders who have poured into the lives of our children.
Hi, my name is Kelly Wallace, and I'm the Capernaum team leader for Rockbridge County. And I just wanted to share with you our hope for Capernaum. We want our kids to find a fun place to hang out with their peers and with leaders. And it's a place where they feel like they belong, where they are accepted as they are, where they are celebrated, and a place where they can be shown Jesus. So now we're gonna go to a video that shows you the heart of what Capernaum is all about.
I am not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say, 'cause we don't want your broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say, no one will love you as you are. But I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna send the blood, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me. I wanna drown a man. This is brave, this is bruised, this is who I'm meant to be, this is me.
I have the greatest job in the world. I get to pour my time and my talents into going where kids are, loving them for who God created them to be, and bringing them into experiencing the life-changing love of Jesus Christ. It's pretty simple. We like to complicate things a lot of times, but the work of Young Life isn't complicated, and yet it's always the simplest of things that have such profound effects on our lives. Jesus walked and traveled with his 12 closest friends for around 3 years. It was a crazy adventure. They saw him do mind-blowing things and heard him speak to crowds and individuals. They heard a lot of what Jesus had to say, but what radically shaped and changed their lives was the time they spent with him. They had an experience with Jesus that went above their head knowledge, and that experience with Jesus would help them lead out from being distant observers into the foundation and leaders of the first church. And that's what we do in Young Life. We invite kids into this grand adventure of experiencing Jesus, and we invite leaders and committee members into participating in the beautiful work of bringing young kids to the foot of the cross and watching them go from death to life. And the best part about it is, when you get a taste of it, you don't come out the same on the other side. It's impossible to experience Christ without forever being changed. And one of Jesus' disciples, John, later on in his life, as he was reflecting about Jesus and the good news that his life, death, and resurrection is, he said in 1 John 1, "That which was from the beginning, which we have heard, which we have seen with our eyes, which we look upon and have touched with our hands concerning the word of life." And John goes on to say that because of Jesus' life, death, and resurrection, we can have fellowship with God. What a privilege it must have been to see, hear, and look and touch the things that Jesus had done. And I'd argue that we get to do that today. Tonight, I hope you have heard what the Lord is doing, and I hope you have seen it in our community. And there have been opportunities to look at the work of Young Life tonight. But have you experienced these things firsthand? Have you touched these things just like John was saying? Have you experienced God's love in a profound way? Or have you been a part of someone else experiencing God's love in a profound way? I hope that you take the next few minutes and think about 2 things. Number 1, where can you see yourself fitting into our team? Does the committee sound exciting? What about working with students, joining our golf tournament committee, becoming a part of our prayer team, or helping out as a mentor for teen moms, or working with kids with disabilities, or helping bring Young Life to Buena Vista? Where can you see yourself fitting into our team? And number 2, would you consider supporting us financially? Tonight, we're looking to raise $20,000, and we hope $14,000 of that is in pledged monthly giving. And our budget for this upcoming fiscal year is $167,500, and that is a $14,000 increase from the previous year. And $7,000 of that budget, we're looking to earmark for expanding ministry into Buena Vista and establishing Young Life at Perry McClure High School. And another $3,000 would be used to help launch our Young Lives ministry for teen moms. And the last $4,000 would be used for identifying and training new leaders, along with keeping Sarah on at the high school for another year. And we humbly ask if you would partner with us financially. One-time gifts are appreciated and vital for ministry, but a monthly gift of any size over time helps sustain Young Life locally. And I know that many of you are donors already, and let me take the time to say thank you.
and to let you know that we appreciate your support in the ways you have stuck with us even in these difficult circumstances of these times. And we know these times are particularly trying for lots of people and families in our community, and that is not lost on us. But would you take the next few minutes to think and pray and to consider financially supporting us? On your program, there should be a tab that can be torn off, and on it, there's a list of ways that you can get more information, get involved, in ways that you can give financially. I would ask that regardless of what your interests are, that you would fill out the sheet for us, seal it in an envelope that's included in your welcome packet, and drop it off with one of our committee members that will be located at the exit on your way out. And if you're watching online, go to this link to fill out a similar form that gets sent directly to us. It also gives you great options in ways to give. So to review, number 1, where can you see yourself fitting into our team? And number 2, would you consider financially supporting us? So on behalf of all of Young Life in Rockbridge County, our committee and our leaders and our staff, thank you so much for attending our drive-in banquet, and we hope you drive home safe. Have a great night.